Oh, I think I forgot something. Hi, Leathur Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. Well, Tabby ran underneath my bed as soon as I got on because he decided he's not going to be a part of this. But that's okay. I shook a bunch of treats on the floor, and you know he's going to come out for them because I know he wants to eat. And as soon as he does, I'm going to steal his fuzzy ass. Now let's see if he came out yet. No, he didn't. But you know what? I forgot my Santa hat. I can't be without the Santa hat. So today I got something a little unorthodox for you guys. And Hanukkah was over yesterday, the 8th day. So anyway, I had to slip that in. Because you know what, by the way, I wanted to say something about that. Usually I have this square-shaped blue candle that had a Mogan David on one side and it had a menorah on the other. But I eventually actually burned the thing. And for years, different friends of mine had promised me a menorah and it never happened. So otherwise, I would have one so that you don't think that the only holiday that I represent is Christmas. So, but anyway, I'm going to put the hat on. Oh, and you see I tied my hair back already? It's kind of an homage to Snoop Dogg, you know. Except I should probably have a bong in the other hand to make it really like Snoop. So I'm going to get started here. It was actually my mother suggested I use the kitchen for this since I could take advantage of the holiday decorations and things. The only thing is the lighting here sucks because the better lighting is over where the view's not very good. So, and I'm going to take the mask off. I just wanted to put this on because I thought that it really went well with the outfit, as you can see. And, yeah, so let me take this mask off. I ordered this on wish.com and it took me like a month to arrive. So, and what pissed me off is I saw masks in the 99-cent store that probably, if you count what I paid plus the postage, I probably would have paid the same price if I would have just gone to 99-cent stores, because now some of the 99-cent stores have merchandise that's more than 99 cents. Nice. So, but yeah. Oh, I don't want to waste time because, hey, Pat the Patriot. Arr! As you guys can see, I still have the Trump stuff. But you know what? I realized something. I do some of my decorating, some of my color play based on subconscious things. And I know, I wanted to do something a little bit gimmicky because I'm doing a makeup tutorial and I thought it went well with the outfit, and also the fact that I'm actually starting. See, this is a live stream, so I have to film everything all in one take. Usually when I do makeup tutorials, I film it in sections, and turnaround, I've actually already done the look, so I show what the look is going to be like, and then it starts with the beginning. So, but since this is a live stream, I have to do everything all in one filming. And that's the only way I could film now because I'm filming through the Chromebook. But what inspired me to even do a makeup thing today is I did a very stupid thing. I dropped one of my palettes. It fell on my carpet last night. This is not even a palette I like very much. It's the Too Faced Christmas palette, Christmas Star. And when I did, two of the colors fell out. Not onto the floor, thank goodness, or we wouldn't be doing this video, because anything touches my floor, you need hazmat or flamethrower, especially my bedroom, because, well, when I first got Cassie out of the pound, I had to have a litter box in there. And, you know, there's no way you could sterilize that. Anyway, sorry to gross you out when I'm talking about makeup, but two of the things fell out and I had to put them back in. And this is not my favorite palette. It really does not rock my socks. But that said, I really want to use up stuff I have. And faster I throw my war paint on, and then I'll do some more decorating. And I do want to talk to you about some stuff, you know. So, but first thing I'm going to do right now is I am going to wash my hands since I got makeup on them. And and there's another thing I'm going to have to do. You know those coffee grinders, those electric coffee grinders? Well, I've been using this electric coffee grinder for something that's not coffee beans, and so now the resin from the THC and all that stuff is making it really all sticky and stuff. And granted, we do not have coffee beans. We've just been using grinds, but there's going to be a time when somebody's going to want to grind some beans. And so maybe today during the live stream, I will clean that, but not now. I just want to wash my hands. So I'm deliberately going out of my way to be festive today. Things are not going great in my world, I'm honest with you, but for a lot of people's world, it's not great. 2020 has just been one difficult year, but this is the holiday season, and I decided today I choose joy. It's a conscious decision, so instead of wearing miserable stuff, yeah, oh gosh, I love the stuff I find at Dollar Tree. That's the one. That store I've actually been in 3 times since this pandemic. For certain things, they came through one time when I was looking for sugar. Yeah, sugar is a real important staple. Now I need butter, and I didn't like what their prices were on salt. So okay, I got my hands washed. I want to prep my eyelid. This was a foundation. I already put foundation, and I already obviously did my eyebrows. You know what? Let me take this off so it doesn't fall on the floor anyway, because you know it's going to happen. But this is a foundation I have been using. This is by The Ordinary, and it's their, oh no, this is not the same stuff. It is their coverage foundation. This bottle happens to be their serum foundation. It looks the exact same. The packaging is the same. It just happened to be in here. To prep my eyelids, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Liner Sealer and Eye Primer. It's just a stick. It's too dark for me, but it'll be all covered by makeup, so that doesn't matter. And this application doesn't need to be precise since it's going to be blended and covered up, so I can go ahead and use the monitor. You know, and I'm going to make sure that this is not going to be a duplicate of anything I've ever done with this palette before. I don't use this palette too much. It's got too many neutrals and things in it. If I had a chance to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But that said, it has a lot of different, it's got the cheek colors as well. But it's just very, 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 very muted. But I'm going to get my brushes. Where the hell did I put them? I thought I put them right here. You know, I really go out of my way to be prepared. And here it is. Everything, I put a lot of things here on the table so it blends in. For my Trump loving friends, hi Carolyn. Was today your birthday or was it yesterday? I wanted to post a greeting on your Facebook wall if that was you, but it wouldn't let me do that. Anyway, this is my mug that I need to glue back the handle on it. It broke. I'm glad it didn't break and shatter. It just came off. The handle still lived in my hand. You know what? I heard, Maddie, I want to address that. I heard that walking barefoot has a lot of health benefits. I heard that there's something about connecting your bare feet with the ground, especially if you're on clean ground surfaces or you're on the beach or out in the woods, provided you don't have cuts in your feet where you could get certain microbes that heck you could even get when you're swimming in the ocean. But I have heard some good things about being barefoot. Now, I don't know if I could ever do it full time, and I don't know if I would want to do it when I live with animals, but there is something holistically to be said for that, and I think supposedly it's good for your bones and your joints and things. Well, happy birthday, Carolyn. I hope your birthday, well, I can't say that I had a bad birthday. I really can't. However, my birthday happened to be election day, and when I came home from my birthday celebration, I honestly thought that things were doing better politically. And so anyway, when I went to talk about using color subconsciously, you notice that the tinsel garland is blue. It's not because I'm celebrating the DNC. It's because I'm kind of feeling blue. Okay, I'm blue because I wish that I would be. First of all, I wish we didn't have COVID. Second of all, I wish that things were better for Trump so that I could just go off to Washington D.C. for his inauguration. Okay, so that's why I'm going to have a blue Christmas. And plus, this COVID. Come on, I'm sure that half of you, a lot of you, okay, you might not agree with me politically, but everybody wants this COVID to just go away. So, all right, I got my brushes. I got this. You know, I got lip colors, and I think I have everything here in the room. So, and I really love this brush thing. I tried experimenting with narrower brush things that they're like water bottles and things, or even the refillable water bottles that people attach to their bikes. But then it's still too tricky getting brushes out because the opening is too narrow. And I like being able to easily access brushes. Plus, this is portable enough and you can see through. The clearness, I think, is good. So I'm grabbing a B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 17. I bet if I had to confine myself to just one eyeshadow brush, as long as I could still have an applicator for eyeliner, this would be it. It's so versatile. You can deposit, you can blend, you can do crease work. You can, especially if you want to do crease color that it doesn't take over your whole eye. I love this brush. And I have 3 of them. But there are so many brushes that I really hardly use anymore. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, I think I might end up doing a cut crease with this. You see, there is a purple color in here. It says ornament to be. So I am going to take this brush. Oh, no, wait a minute. No. I think I better start with an eyebrow color first. What am I thinking? You think I smoked some weed beforehand or something? I am going to start with an eyebrow color. You need an eyebrow color. But you know what? I don't think I'm going to use this palette. The only light eyebrow color they have there is a stark white frost. And I don't want to go totally white. But I will go almost white. I will use this Color Festival palette from B&H Cosmetics. And all the colors are named. And I'm going to use this color called Disco. And I will use a Vivace brush. It's a C. No, this is an ELF brush. ELF. And it's a C brush is what they call it. It deposits color. It's really good for depositing color. So I'm going to do a good job loading up this color. It looks very white. It's actually a very pale rose gold kind of color. But it looks like a very, very, very pale gold. And I'm going to get about 1/3 of an inch on my eyebrow. And if you're curious what I'm using to put my computer on to film this, it's on the stove. It's on a big cookbook and then a cereal box so that I have something near an extra light source, even though I don't know that that's going to do any good. Now that I have that, you know what? I think I'm going to, no, I want to take advantage of the moist surface. If I take this down, it's going to make it hard for the other colors to show up. So, set that down. Ooh, oh, don't want that to fall on the ground. Stop and show you this for a second. I just want you to read this. I'm not going to say out loud anything it says. Yes, I made this. I don't think I need to comment. It's been a while since I made handmade ornaments. This was something I am beyond doing it anymore. It's just that would be something else that would take up a lot of time. And this YouTube stuff is really, how I get away with not having to sleep enough sleep. I don't know, because it's certainly, I mean, everything's organic for me. I'm not using anything funny or anything, unless you call cannabis funny, and that's not causing me to lose sleep. It's trying to, it's like anybody else trying to find enough hours in a day. So I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to go into this purple color that is called Ornament to Be. Oh, you know who's meant to be? Who's that? Oh, let's see. Let's see, Tabby. Don't run away and be an asshole, Tabby boy. Who's that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look. Look. Say hello. Say hello. Excuse me. Say hello. Say hello. Here's my Tabby boy. Here's my Tabby boy. All right, Tabby boy. I got things to do. See, I didn't get my hands straight. So I'm loading my brush up with this purple color. And I want to really get a good load in the outer crease. But I want to use a mirror to do that. Cannabis equals drugs. I think cannabis is a very wonderful, fragrant, healthy herb that has lots of health benefits. It not only helps to treat certain diseases, which is not why I use it. I use it personally because, first of all, I won't lie. I will say that I do enjoy it immensely. Second of all, I think it is something that seems to have anti-stress benefits. I've also noticed that it seems to be good for certain kinds of pain-killing things. And even though this is not why I partake, but when I was given an arthritis diagnosis like 3 years ago, that I thought in my head, wow, yet another excuse. And I have arthritis in my hands and my feet, my wrists. There was a month period of time when I thought that I wasn't ever going to be able to dance again, and I was very, very, very depressed about that. And then some things happened where I broke my finger because I was running to catch the mailman whenever people ring the doorbell. And a lot of times people forget that there's a doorbell, unless, of course, it's not for us. But anyway, when I broke my finger, and then I started thinking about a life beyond dance. But I had to stop smoking weed for like 2 weeks just before my surgery. The guy who fixed me up said that because I wasn't growing it myself, I didn't know what was in it, and what if something that was in it would counteract the anesthesia. Last thing you want is a drug interaction of that kind. So for that, time, obviously I stopped, but and I still tested positive for it. I would probably, if I quit for 3 years, I would probably still test positive because there's so much of it in me, because I've smoked since I was 15 years old. Don't do the math, okay? There was a 1.5 year period of time that I quit, just like this last 6 months of my father's life, because what was happening is I was actually having some heart palpitations due to caffeine. I was drinking a couple pots of coffee a day, and then slugging down diet sodas. Diet soda, unless it says caffeine free, it has a lot of caffeine, and I didn't realize how much I was taking. And once I cut down on my caffeine thing, that the heart palpitations pretty much stopped. But anyway, that scared me into thinking that maybe I was starting to have a problem with pot not agreeing with me. But that was the only time that I made a conscious effort to quit. And once I realized that, so that meant that I had to deal with my father's death sober off of absolutely everything. But I don't do any other chemicals, or I don't drink alcohol. I quit alcohol in 2004. I quit chemicals in 2001. Weed is the only thing that I have, okay? I'm at the point where, you pry it from my cold dead hands. It feels, with COVID especially, and how it's got everybody all messed up. And if you don't think you're messed up, you probably still are to a certain degree. And I know this is temporary, but still, they're saying, the 2018 flu actually lasted 3 years. And that was with the lack of medicine that they really had then. But think about that. They're saying that how long it's going to take for the vaccine to get to the people that are not medical professionals. And of course, I'm sure economics have something to do with it. So don't think that don't count that you're going to get this vaccine too soon. Even if you know somebody that's in a high risk group, like I would love for my mother to get it away. My mother is 79 years old. She has heart failure and different things. If anybody's deserving, of course, we want our older loved ones to get it. But okay, healthcare professionals get it first, and people but now they're saying that how's about all the other people that are working with the public that are putting themselves at risk? I mean, you could argue that somebody that's a cashier that's dealing with all kinds of people that could be unmasked, could be coughing at them, could be doing different things, and they're working an 8-hour shift. Do they not deserve a right to some kind of protection? But then where does it end? They want to finally get to people. Now I read some articles and some more conservative websites today. I was doing a lot of reading on the internet because I found out that, in fact, my Hotmail has a storage limit, and they're saying I'm up to 92%. And they said that if I reach my limit, then I won't be able to send or receive mail. And that's my preferred email thing. So I've been looking through and deleting furiously today. And on a Chromebook, it takes forever, like molasses in January, because I still have not called Best Buy about taking in Lenovo, because I know once I do that, I won't have that for a month. So the only thing I can do is live stream right now, and that's why I'm using this Chromebook. Anyway, let's get to it with the purple. I'm just going to do a little bit, by a little. I'm just going to do a line here on this side. And I'm going to set, no, I'm not going to set that aside. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And one of the things I do to help me to get symmetrical, I try to see what position of my eyeball this hits. And for me, it seems to hit where the iris, where the pupil starts. So I'm going to follow my eye, looking straight on, and where the pupil starts, that's where I'm going to do this crease color. And I'm not going to carry it too high or too low. Being conscious of where the color ends and where the eyebrow begins. Try to get it symmetrical. A little too little is better than too much, because it's easier to add where there's not enough than to try to take off where it's too thick. I'm going to set this brush aside. I'm going to grab another brush. And of course, the brushes are underneath the palette. I'm going to take a Vivace brush. It's a fluffy, but it's tapered, and you could still do crease work with it. I am going to go into this beautiful matte burgundy color that is called Cranberry. Okay, well, that's actually a color that makes sense. And with this color, you could say a little goes a long way, so I would definitely tap it off a little bit. That palette doesn't have a mirror, but there really wouldn't be room for one the way it's laid out. I guess they were concerned that if the mirror were to break, they didn't want the liability for mirror shards getting in makeup. But then again, that never happens with any other kind of makeup. So I am going to take this, and I'm going to go I'm going to go on the eyelid, but I'm going to leave the edge bare. And I'm going to take this. I don't want to overtake the purple. I'm going to go like just below it. And let me see if you can see that. Is this lighting good? I got to experiment with. Remember, this is the first time I ever did a makeup tutorial in this room. And all I'm using is this overhead light up here and this light over the stove. So there is a light that I have that was given me that I haven't really played around with, partly because it has some kind of compartment to put batteries in, and I haven't figured out how to open it to find out the kind of battery. As I find out the battery, I'm going to do this thing with this other eye. And this cranberry matte color, I want to take another look to make sure that I got it right. Okay. Again, using my... Now, you see, I could see that I did a little bit of smudge with the purple, but that's okay. It's not... Okay. Now, I could see that this color started just a little bit past the iris. So I'm going to take the lead a little bit past the iris, but leaving a very fine edge of bare lid closest to the eyelashes. I'm going to touch that one more time because it looks like this is darker than this side. I don't know why. Oh, maybe because it wasn't touching this. Yeah, they got to touch but not overlap. I'm not trying to blend these colors. Let's see if this matches. All right, now time to lighten this up with some gold. Oh, meow, I heard that. When I said gold, my cat meowed. My TabbyBoy. Cassie is not in this end of the apartment. She's down the hall. I hope he's got food for her. I'm been feeding treats. I'm going to have to go out tomorrow to Save a Lot or something and get them a big bag of dry food. It's so cold out there now. It's like in the 20s or something. I want to find a really, really, really light, bright gold in this palette. We don't have anything that's really that light. We do have something that they have as a highlighter, and I'm going to see what that looks like. But see, that doesn't really show up on my skin, and they have a color called Prance Around that is more of a bronze, and I need something that's really, really, really light. So let me see. I thought that I had brought this other palette. You know what? I didn't. Follow me. I got one more palette that I think would work. Yeah. The B&H Cosmetics Glam Reflections Gilded. If you are looking for a palette that has a bunch of different kinds of golds in it, that is a good all-purpose palette for that. But that said, it also has oranges and bronzes and browns, and it's, as you will see, it's very neutral heavy. So, but I come to this gold a lot. It is nice and bright. Now, there's another palette that I have. Wait a minute. Maybe I should use this other. Oh, I'm wearing fishnets, and I keep on snagging them on things. Either they get tied up in little knots or they get holes. Okay. In this box bag here are some of my other palettes, and I think I know what will be. I will find the right color that I'm looking for. Maybe not. Okay, got the Galaxy Chic palette. There's this palette that I wanted to find. It has all the golds in it. You know what? Maybe I'll use some from here. Boy. Yeah, let's see. This is the Duo Light Highlight 9-color palette from B&H Cosmetics. And you see, it's got some golds here that I think might be pale enough. Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm going to use, these are colors that have names, something called Double Trouble. And I'm going to use a B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 9. It's a packing and loading brush. And this is a highlighting palette, but it can be used for eyeshadow too. And I'm just going to pack this real good. You know what? I'm going to bring it up against my wall, but I'm not going to put the palette underneath the computer with all those magnets. I'm going to see if I can use my computer is a mirror. I'm going to start packing gold inside, and I'm going to load the brush again. You really want this intense. And I'm going to do it again. Speaking of, my apologies to my liberal friends who hate them. Anyway, back to the makeup. Since I got some people in the chat room who I know from other places. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is earlier than a lot of my live streams are, but I wanted to start doing things earlier. Plus, I haven't eaten it all today, and I wanted to do things while I wasn't inconveniencing the people I live with. You feel free to carry this color in as far as you want. But I'm going to take a look and check for things like symmetry. Okay, I'm going to bring this back into the kitchen. Hey, you want a little personality? Uh-oh. But, wait. Have no fear. This is what worked the last time. It's a family heirloom. Look on my Christmas playlist to learn the story about it. It's as old as me. It's a little bit older than I am by like 2 weeks. So it's means a lot to the family. At least it means a lot to my mother. It means a lot to me. I don't know that anybody else in our family really cares, but anyway, my mother and I are considered family. So hey. Oh, okay. So now let's get some eyeliner. And I decided to put a bunch of lipsticks and things in here. I've had to change where I keep things in my room because Cassie has got starting on climbing all kinds of places. She is a little monkey now. She gets on the top of the chest of drawers. She gets up on all these surfaces, and she's just very adventurous and very bold and very determined. And you know, the fact that I'm so nocturnal only encourages her late night activity, and sometimes I'm trying to actually go to bed earlier so that I can actually get some sleep, and trying to calm her down. And now she's sleeping on top of my stocking boxes, so I'm thinking maybe I'll put the little bed on there. But then what happens is when she jumps down, her claws get caught in bedding and then just knocks that over. And if that gets caught on the edge of the stocking boxes, it knocks them over, and all my clean stockings fall on the ground, I will be very, very upset. And so that's the thing. So as much as I want her to be comfortable, I don't want a big mess for myself. I'm going to use for eyeliner Yankina brand 36H. This is a waterproof liquid eyeliner and in a marker thing. For me, it really is waterproof. Even though I'm just hanging around the house, I still something waterproof so it actually lasts all night. In case, you know, sometimes my sinuses get messed up. My sinuses have been just so bad anymore. And I have been so cold I mean, I'm wearing so many layers of clothes, but I decided now today I'm going to not look like a damn Eskimo. So I'm just going to take this like I do anytime. You know, it's really important to have these things upside down. I'm not going to wing it up yet. I'm going to do the other side. And then I'm going to start underneath. I find it's so much easier to do the wing when you do the lower eyeliner too. It's easier to see where they join. It's easier to get it symmetrical also, I think. One thing I think is find unnerving, for some reason only on this eye, there is a tug with my skin that there isn't on this eye. I can do a perfect line like this and it won't skip, but here invariably the skin skips. And I just find it annoying. It's really important to keep the lids on these eyeliners tight, and I try to keep it stored point down so that as it gets used up, it doesn't dry out too soon. Now let's see what this looks like. I was going to cut crease this, but you know what? I think it looks better as a smoky. It's not that cut creases are difficult and stuff, but most people aren't going to go through the hassle. I don't think. Did I put my mascara? Yes, I did. Mascara. And with this, I was thinking, do I use a color or do I just go with black? I mean, I could even use red if I wanted to, but you know what? I don't think the red would show up too much. I could. I have a brand new red. This is from a company. This says Color Mascara WX Dragon. And of course, this doesn't tell you anything at all about the company. And I wish I could tell you more than that. But this is a very vivid red. And this container, if you look at the packaging, it reminds me of Dior's lipsticks. I have never owned anything Dior. I don't want to put negativity into the atmosphere by saying something so blatant, like I don't believe that Dior is in my price range. But with all the things that I could be spending money on, I don't think I would be spending something that expensive. Now, if I found it at the dollar store or something, that's a different story. So I'm going to try this red, and I'm going to see if I like it. If I don't like it, I'll just cover most of it up with black. When you're using colored mascaras, one advantage people like me that have colorless eyelashes would have is these colors will show up very well. If, however, by some chance you're blessed with naturally dark lashes, you can get colored mascaras and the colors can pop on you if you start off with a coating of a white mascara. There are some mascara kits that will come with a white primer, but if you have a standalone white mascara like I bought from wish.com, you can use it the same way. Bonus points if any of it's waterproof. But you know what? One way that you can use waterproof, say you find a really good waterproof mascara, but it's really, really, really strongly waterproof. And you know how sometimes waterproof things, truly good quality waterproof makeup can be a real hassle to remove. And if you're like me and you're really tired, it's late at night, you just want to wash your face and go to bed. And even if, say, you're trying to wash your face when you're soaking in the tub or something, still, you have to, if you forgot some kind of oil and soap and water just isn't cutting it. And you know how you ever gone into a shower with waterproof eyeliner and mascara and all the rest of the makeup comes off, but you've got these spider lashes and stuff? Now, if you live with other people, that's not so bad because at least nobody sees you totally unmade up. But if you just want to wash your face, sometimes you want your makeup to not have to be scrubbed off and you stretching out your skin and stuff. So that's where you want to use an oil or something. But there's a way to still use waterproof products and make them a little bit easier to take off. That is to start off with a non-waterproof mascara. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to fix that. God damn it. If you do your first coat with non-waterproof and then just top it off with waterproof, it will still be waterproof, but it will be so much easier to take your mascara off at night. It won't take as long. And I actually tested that and I found out that it really did help. That said, if you're using an old mascara and a new mascara, you can really do a lot of cross contamination with bacteria doing that. You figure whatever bacteria is in the older mascara, you're going to be putting a newer germ free brush for product onto eyelashes that might have germ from whatever grew in the previous mascara. So you got to think about that. Oh, and that said, I did something very bad yesterday. Speaking of mascaras, I have this other mascara, my original mascara that I'd gotten from ColourPop. I actually spent $6 on it. The regular price is $8, and it was not a very good mascara at all. It was, they call their mascara line the BFF mascaras, and it was a red color, and I wanted a red mascara, so I got it. But this thing was so not waterproof. It I wore it one time on the boardwalk to do a filming, and I didn't realize how badly it was running. I'm wearing my face mask and everything, and this thing is streaking down. Looked like I was crying blood. Okay, it was so bad, and I also was using the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner, and that is marketed as a waterproof eyeliner, and on me it ran crazy. So I had red and black. Well, it didn't run like streaks, but the that mascara did red streaks. So anyway, it was finally drying out. I finally have actually been using it up. So I did what you're absolutely not supposed to do, and I added water to the brush to give it more life, and it actually applies much better now. But that's the worst thing you could do because that just feeds the bacteria that are already in there, especially if something has been open more than 6 months. So if I live to regret it, I'll tell you guys. There is a mirror on the side of. Oh, this looks pretty cool from here when the light hits it. I think this looks cool. So I'm glad I got this makeup when I could, but I don't think in good conscience I can continue to order makeup from those companies, though, just because they do test in China anyway. They test on animals, and that's pretty disgusting. Now, I don't know if I should do red underneath or if I should just do black. Maybe I should just do black, so I will. Oh, yeah. It's a good idea to clean up the edges. You know what? I'm going to take my hair down. Oh, I want to put on this pair of earrings that I got from my grandma. When my grandma died, some of her things were not taken by the aunts and uncles. And so one of my aunts gave these to me, and I set the thing aside right here. And I know I didn't move it. Oh, here it is. Here, I'm going to show you. These earrings, I have never worn them out of the house before because I'm afraid of losing them. There's very little things that I have to remember my grandmother from. I mean, I have obviously a bunch of greeting cards, a very special birthday card that had a whole bunch of pictures of George W. Bush on it, even though the intention was kind of to make fun of him, but she knew that I liked the guy. And so anyway, these earrings, and if there's a way that I can make sure that I couldn't lose them, I would wear them. You know, when you go out dancing, the dance floors have so many earrings that get lost. And I always feel bad for the people involved, you know. And it wouldn't, half the time, it wouldn't do any good to turn it into lost and found because so many of these people come here just for a weekend and they leave for wherever and they don't even check. Oh, get it. Don't you know? I dropped the damn thing. Oh, well. You know what? I'm going to put the other one on. Then I'm going to go back in my room and I'm going to find if I thought this was going to be a time waster, I wouldn't have done it, but I just thought it would be a nice touch, you know. Maybe another way to honor my grandma by wearing her stuff. So, all right. Let's go find an earring back. Yeah, like I have all the time in the world, right? So, but at least I think I know where some of my jewelry doodads are. But you know what? I'm going to have to find it. All right. Here, jewelry doodads. I think I can get an earring back on this. Here. Okay. I'm going to just take a back from another earring and very carefully put this on here. Speaking of shingles, I had a friend tell me that he had shingles, and he wasn't even an old person when he had it. He had other health issues that made his immune system compromised, so he ended up getting it before he was middle-aged, and he said it was such a horrible thing. It sounds like this just something that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. And now I've heard that the shots for it are not always covered by their insurance, but I don't know. That's one aspect of life that I really don't know very much about. So, okay. All right. So now that I have her earrings on, I am going to get some more brushes on. So I want to put some cheek color on. I don't wear a whole lot of cheek color these days because of the face mask thing, but it does look nice on camera. And so many people supposedly are going to be doing a lot of parties using the video. I try to suggest my family doing that and having dinners on camera. But the thing is that everybody does their dinners at all different times. And you know how hard it is coordinating one time for people to do things when everybody's got different things going on. And some people actually are traveling. It just doesn't seem practical. Plus, maybe it works better for the families that keep in like daily contact, and I don't think my mother keeps in that much contact with people. So okay, I got the Christmas star palette that I dropped and broke some of yesterday, so I'm going to go ahead and definitely use some of these. I'm going to use one of the ones that I broke up. It's called Chestnuts Roasting. I can't be heavy handed with this because it's a bronzer. It's a dark brown matte bronzer, and I'm using an Ulta Beauty blush brush. I'm definitely tapping off the excess with this. And I'll go ahead and be very careful. Normally, I would say with these colors in this palette, they do go on sheer. And with a cheat color, I think that's a good thing. See what just that little bit impact that did? So I use, of all the makeup products I use bronzer the least. I really don't. I don't have any. I don't feel any need to darken my skin any. And I remember when I used to be too heavy-handed with my blush application when I first started wearing makeup and stuff. I have pictures there. I look really great aside from the fact that my blush was too bright because my eyes were very smoky and my lips were very bright red and my blush was very red and bright and should have been blended more. So, but other than that, now I'm probably going to do some more blending with this but not with this brush, with another brush. I'm going to get another brush, get two brushes, and I'm going to use one of the highlighters. Now, if I truly need a highlighter, this palette, actually, this highlight is not light enough, but I'll use the lightest shade they have, and it's called Lit Up. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's the only color on here that I actually hit pan on. Now, I'm going to use this e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush that I think is really great to use as a highlighter brush. Normally, I would use one of those fluffy B&H Cosmetics blending brushes, but since this is a color that I actually have to get heavy-handed with, I'm going to go ahead and use this big old brush. And if it makes me use this stuff up faster, I'm fine with that. It's not my favorite, and I might as well use it. So I'm going to take this brush, and you see how subtle this is? I've been reading some different articles from different websites like makeup.com and others, and a lot of them are talking about how when you do makeup for video, especially for like these conference calls and the Zoom meetings and stuff, they say that a lot of times the camera actually makes your makeup look more subtle than it is. So this is one of those times when you can actually get heavier handed than you think you should if you're going to be on camera. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get some more. I mean, I'm really at where I'm at with my makeup. Since I have so much of it, I'm wanting to just use it up. I mean, I have enough probably for 10 lifetimes, okay? And some of it, yes, are my favorite things, but other things were palettes I don't use too much. And look, there's so much of this that I've only used once or twice. I use for a makeup tutorial just so that I can get used to the colors, and then I'll wear makeup for makeup around the house so that when the mailman rings the doorbell, you look nice, especially when you're covering yourself with a mask before you get face to face with somebody. The eyes have it, so use up your stuff, right? Okay, I'm going to hit my chin and my cupid's bow and forehead here, forehead here. Then I'm going to press in so the makeup, you know how it gathers in your lines and stuff and it makes you look older than you are. So unless you can afford the airbrushing and all that bullshit. And again, see how when the light hits it, it gives that nice. Oh, okay. You know what? I think I'm gonna get some of this cheek color here, and it's still pretty subtle. Um, it's called Nice List, and it's a very nude pink color. And I'm using this really big giant brush, probably bigger brush than I need to. That is from It Cosmetics that I made a very lucky ground score. And for this, then some more. Then I'm gonna take a look in the mirror to make sure that I didn't do too much. You know what? Let's check in this bathroom lighting and see. I really have very limited tolerance for being heavy-handed with blush. Okay, looking in the mirror. Now this computer is right in front of the mirror in front of the sink in the bathroom, and it's where I think it should be. Okay, let's put on lipstick, shall we? And I'm going to stick with the drying lip colors that are safe to wear under masks. I think that those are really appropriate to use, even when you're probably not going to be wearing a mask. You have them, they're good to use. And to show that there are lots of options for makeup that can still be worn with your protective gear. And let me see. I think I will get something. This is from a company called Kmadu. And look at the packaging. And this is one of those dry liquid lip colors, and it is a frost. And these colors do not have names, though. This just has a number. And all right. I'm gonna use this mirror. I always keep a mirror on the kitchen. And it's not the good lighting for it or anything either, but All right. I want to make sure that this is good enough. Plus, I want to start taking this stuff out of the kitchen so I can get ready to do the Christmas portion of this. Yeah. I hope I wasn't taking too long with the makeup thing. Of course, now I realize since we have a problem with a cat that likes to get up top of there now, and that's where I've been putting this, so I have to think of a safe place to put my makeup. I think I may have to put it in a drawer right now. Oh, and the bottom drawer that I had my trousers, I made the mistake of having that open like 5 inches, and Cassie slept in that one day. And of course, when I saw her curled up in there, I didn't have the heart to disturb her, you know. You can't be an asshole to your cat, right? It's wrong to be rude to your cats. That said, there's nothing. I never said I had a problem with waking up. Oh, look who's here! Oh my goodness! Look who's here! My kitty that deliberately would not cooperate for my video. My kitty who ran under my bed. Oh, I bet you ate up all those treats. Hey, you know we can't play background music on these videos. You get a copyright strike. I can't play anything that I don't own the copyrights to. You resolve a copyright strike from the YouTube AI, and then after that happens, you get 3 of them, then they can take your channel down. And I don't want to lose my channel just because of some silly background music or whatever. And, there's people that seem to get away with this, but then they lose their channel. It's, oh, well, they go bye-bye. I like being on YouTube, right? Even because, I get kisses from my cat. Oh, I love my baby so much. This is my baby. Oh, please don't put your filthy, dirty paws on my face. Thank you. I love my baby. Yeah, YouTube, just like if I talk a lot about pot, they decide that the video gets age restricted, and then that means that when I finally reach the 1,000 subscriber mark, then I will never be able to have ads put on it. And so they have their ways of stifling free speech, and I think that really sucks. I mean, on one hand, I could see the point that a lot of people come to get one kind of content, and they want to know that they're not going to be exposed to content that they might find objectionable. And if maybe they're really these moralistic kind of people, or they're babysitting their kids or something, they don't want somebody to all of a sudden start breaking out a bowl and firing it up and talking about how good the weed is and all that stuff, and maybe blowing. Yeah, I find music to be distracting, to be honest. Plus, unless it's really old music that I've heard for years, then it won't distract me because it's already kind of in my DNA. But new stuff, I am absolutely making a conscious effort to avoid, and I have been for the past 3 or 4 years. I'm very ignorant in current music. It's a deliberate thing. I don't want those ideas to pollute my ideas. I have a video about this talking about noise pollution for songwriters. It's an actual thing. Check it in. I guess it's in my Club Life playlist, maybe. I don't talk a lot about that part of my life on my channel, but that is something I just find pop music an annoying distraction. I don't want it to become a part of my what I'm working on and whatever I'm finally going to bring out into the world. It's going to have classic rock and maybe a little country and maybe a little whatever. It's not going to have the stuff from today. It's not going to have hip hop influences, and it's not going to have anything that screams 2020 or 2010 or, well, no, I don't want to be influenced by cultures that are not my own, and I don't want to be influenced by I want it to be as authentically myself as possible. And so for that reason, I'm deliberately really censoring what I get exposed to. So yeah, Okay, I'm gonna put this makeup. Oh, okay, that was just the cereal box. And you know what? I almost accidentally shut this thing off, and that would suck. So I'm going to very carefully put this stuff back in my room. You know, having only two hands and having to use one to carry the computer. You know, with Cassie getting so active and stuff, I have to really be careful where I put the makeup back, especially since I keep on dropping palettes on the ground. And as long as they don't start breaking, I'm fine. But once that starts happening, you know, that's obviously not acceptable. So I'm very proud of myself. I found some more hangers for the ornaments, and I found some or ideas for where to place extra ones. I'm looking for Cassie. Oh no, she's definitely not here, unless she's hiding someplace. No, she can't. No. Yeah, I think she's definitely down the hall. That's fine though, because she was getting really active to the point where she was just not. Oh, she got over to where I had a coffee cup and I had a knife as a stir in there. Speaking of weed, FITB. What does that stand for? I was so distracted for a second there. I almost lost my train of thought. So, yeah, this is definitely going. Oh, that reminds me. Before I fold this back up, I guess I'm going to have to press this in so this doesn't fall out anymore. I was going to actually put rubbing alcohol in it and press it in that way, and that's what I do if fire in the bowl. Oh, okay. Hey, I would join you, and I could, but I smoked my last hit like an hour ago, a few minutes before I went on. I always seem to think I have a little bit more left than I do. I find a few crumbs here or there, and first thing in the morning is my favorite time. Then I really feel it a lot. If you've been smoking throughout the day and you just don't feel it that much, and that's just such a bummer, especially knowing how expensive it usually is and stuff. And everybody's talking it now that New Jersey voted for full legalization. So now everybody and his uncle over 21 can buy it in these stores. But supposedly that's going to drive the price up even for the black market. And supposedly the stores are going to be more expensive than the black market. And yet, at least if you're buying at a store, you don't feel you're subsidizing a gang. And that's the one thing that I think is cool about it. Even though I don't think spending more money on anything is cool, especially I cannot afford. If you knew how that I was so broke now that I can't pay attention, that I'm so broke that I don't have a pot to piss in. But guess what? You know, people, you have plumbing problems, you'll find out that pissing in pots is the least of your problems. But let me wash my hands again so I don't. Ooh, this looks like something other than brown makeup. So I feel bad for all the pot YouTubers, or maybe not all of them, but I'm seeing so many of them. They're getting age restricted now, and so it's a thing. And that means that if the video does really, really well, you'll never be able to get ads served on it. You'll never be able to make money. And I have videos that AI hasn't found yet that have done really, really well, like 30,000 hits and growing. And as they find them, they age restrict them. So I will never get ads sent on them. And it's like, taking us, they're punishing us. There's not a whole lot of revenue streams a lot of people have. Unless you have one main boring 9-to-5 job or something. Now with the COVID and everything, that's caused a lot of unemployment. And of course, how COVID's affected me is more in my mobility and limiting the kinds of content that I can make. since I'm not able to travel and show the things that I would really like to be showing. And also, since I still have not gotten my Lenovo computer that runs Windows taken care of, and so I'm filming from this Samsung Chromebook, and because it does not run Windows, I cannot edit bunch of bits of footage together. It's almost used up. As a matter of fact, it's probably on its last legs. It's a lot of times it spontaneously turns off. So if this goes dead spontaneously, it's nothing personal. Either I hit a bad key like the dumbass, or the thing actually did shut down. I hope it doesn't happen. So anyway, this is what the makeup looks like. Let's look in the other bathroom light, and meanwhile I will drop this makeup off in my room so that I can get started on Christmas thing. Cats, please don't knock this stuff off. Oops. Oh boy. Okay, I can only hope that she's going to be good, but she's not here, but she will be back. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. Here. Like it? Okay. Well, this Lenovo ThinkPad that I actually got it for around $400, which, considering how much my computers have usually cost me, my first computer cost me $3,000. Okay. I thought it was almost state of the art. Aside from those laptops like the Alienwares, I was looking at them too. I somehow thought that if I had the very best, it could be a computer that I could learn on. It would last me a long time. And mind you, before I had a computer, I had web TVs. Okay, I mean, how analog can you get? The dial-up connection, I had to have another phone line installed just for this, and it uses a telephone. I mean, it uses your TV. And I went through two of them because Hurricane Ernesto caused a power surge and fried out the first one. And I used to be so frustrated with the slowness of dial-up. I used to beat up on keyboards. I never thought of myself as a person that had anger issues, but be stuck with a dial-up with a web TV, and you will find that you might be using your keyboard as a punching bag. So, all right. I want to get on with some Christmas decorations. Now, I want to carry on the theme of the blue that I've been putting around here, but I couldn't find any more of those hooky thingies. So, and now I've got the computer balanced on a rice cooker. So, I found some hooks for balls, and it seems to me that I've been alternating these with another blue ornament. So I'm going to I still have lots of my homemade ornaments, so I probably might not be using them for this application since they're not going to be the kind displayed in a way that you could see them up close. So I think my homemade ornaments really should be seen up close. Okay. Oh, another alternate hanger method I devised involved using your old travel tags. You know, when you come back from an Amtrak or a Greyhound trip and you get those luggage tags, well, you can use some parts of the tag when you're done your trip. You can recycle the paper part, and the string part you can use as a hair tie. You can also wrap it around the ties from ornament hangers to make a big stretchy thing that fits around a tree branch real easy. And since it's stretchy, well, but you see, I did something to it. Oh, well. But anyway, that's something that you can do. You just wrap them around, loop them, but that's a way that you can use more of your luggage tag. So now I'm going to put a hanger. I still wish I knew what happened to our container of the hooks. Okay, put this. Okay, now this is on a pile of dishes on top of the stand-up freezer. So okay. And the lowest, this is on a stack of dishes. The lowest dish is actually a wok, so it can swivel real easily. So you can follow me here as I do this. And this already has a hook on it. So there. I think I'll go ahead and use this. There. I wonder if I shouldn't go get a tablet or something. But then that's going to be another operating system that I'm going to have to familiarize myself with. And then I'm going to have to learn how to edit on it. Whatever I use, I have to think in terms of how I'm going to edit or how I can transfer the data to a Windows machine so I can edit that way. But I do like the idea of the portability that a tablet offers. And I also like the idea that you don't have hinges that you wear out. I am hell on my laptop hinges. I really is a problem that they wear on me. Even that Lenovo that supposedly they're engineered to be especially durable. It's not even a year old. The end of January, it'll be a year old. I think the end of February, it'll be a year old. So it's still under warranty. Okay. And I've got, so I still have some. I might as well take this extra tag off too, so it doesn't just hang down. You know what? No, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to. There. Let's see. And you know what I'll do is I'll wrap this extra string thing around so it's not so obvious. I'm going to stick this here so that I can have, I think I have another one of those teardrop shaped blue ones. And if I do, I think it would look better if I had the symmetry of that. But I might not after all. I don't want to use another color. So I think I'll just, I have some handmade ornaments that maybe I will put them over there since that's usually where my mother sits. Okay, some of you probably have never seen these before, so I'm going to move the computer back to the stove and show you something. Let's get the cereal box that I knocked down almost into the cat food bowl. That would not have been good. So these I made a long time ago. Like, I think I was in California and I was only coming to New Jersey for my Christmas vacations. So this was in those early years. This was probably, during within my first 2 years being in Los Angeles. Because the first year I was out there, I did not come home for Christmas. I thought it was important for me to stay away from home for at least a full year and toughen up. And anyway, some of these, my mother actually had put years on them in magic marker. Yeah. Here's another. Now this I'm going to have to put another thing on top because this one is broken. So, you know what? This is not, whoops, that was not a stable surface to put a computer on. It's tricky making tripods of some kind, but I definitely want to find another thing for this. Okay, I had to borrow one from another ball, but you know what? Why not? Okay, I think I will go ahead and put these ones here close to where she sits. Tell me I didn't use up the hooks. Well, I'm going to have to find another. Oh, okay. Here. Show you some other of my handmade balls that I'm probably not hanging up, or at least I'm not hanging up with those blue things. This is another one from those days. Now, some of these pins and things have actually fallen out since they weren't put away properly. They should have been cradled in tissue paper or something, and they weren't. So as you can see, again, some of the things are missing from the storage thing, but you get the gist of it. And this is how the year. Now, this was around the same time within my first 2 years of being in Los Angeles. So, okay, I have a hook for that one. Did I put? Oh, let me take the hook from here, and you know, I was almost tempted to go up the street, go onto the boardwalk, and steal a couple of tree branches, but that makes such a mess. Oh, yesterday my mother showed me in the hallway she found a couple of pine needles. We're still cleaning up pine needles, and they really shed. Even if you think you have the container well watered, they really they make messes. Oh, I hope I can find another. Yes, good. Oh, this. Look how tangled up this is. You see this? Oh boy. I think I'm going to have to get a pair of scissors so I don't do any damage. Well, maybe I won't have to. Yeah. I'll get scissors. And, I wonder if I could build a computer for cheaper than the $400 I paid for the Lenovo. And the thing is that there are things that I wanted better on that computer, as is because I do buy computers on specs. It came with 8 gigabytes of memory, and I would have preferred 16 gigabytes, but it would have added at least another $100 to it. It would, or maybe even as much as $150. And I got it specifically in the clearance under the open box section to try to save as much money as possible. And I got it from Best Buy, who's obviously a very reputable company. They've been very good to me as long as I've been doing business with them. But that said, my experience with that computer has not been without its problems. Okay, where I wanted to put the teardrop ball, I'm going to put this. And let's see what view you're going to see. There. I don't know if you can hear Frank Sinatra next door. I'm going to have my mother turn it down so I don't get in trouble. So hold that thought. You know what? Come in with me. Mom, could you do me a favor? Could you turn that down a little? I can hear it. Thank you. Sorry about that. There. See? I thought you could hear it here. She's got this nice radio, and I don't blame her wanting to enjoy it. You know, and she, for all I know, having her cooped up in her room is depriving her of being able to hang out here in the kitchen. But that said, we don't have cable, so you can't watch the TV in here. What was she doing? She was bringing that radio in there. Otherwise, either that or just take back the boombox that's in my room. That's what I use to listen to my talk radio and stuff. And obviously, I'm not listening to radio because I'm talking to you. So, okay, let's see what this looks like so far. I want to add another ornament near where that slovenly tape is that I didn't remove from here. All right. So I can go ahead and put this ornament up so it looks somewhat like we're making an effort to celebrate the holidays. I want to put more of a hook on this. There. I know that there's other things hanging up that don't look particularly Christmassy, but you know what? It is a kitchen. So, and I'm thirsty. I'm going to pour myself a cup of tea. I hope you don't mind. I really love being able to keep tea on, and it's hot all the time. And it's so dark, I'm going to add a little bit of cold to it. You know what? Because it's so dark, I'm going to go ahead and add water to it. I make a whole pot of tea using one tea bag. Now, anybody that thinks that a tea bag goes in 1 cup, and maybe if you're lucky you get 2, look at the size of the pot. Make a whole pot of tea with 1 tea bag. Serious. You guys do it in a 1 cup bag. Oh, I'm paying for a cup of tea, and they use 1 tea bag, and you're paying $5 or $6. I don't know what to tell you. Get a whole box of tea bags, and each bag is a pot. And if you keep on adding more to it, it's actually more like 2 pots. And the added benefit is you're not going to overdo it on the caffeine. Now, some of you might say that you're depriving yourself of some of the flavonoids that are the terpenes and things that you get in tea. That's true too. But look at it that way. You have less caffeine, which I think is of concern to people who might have heart issues and things. And since I am not the only person in this house drinking the tea, I got to think of my mother, and she does have heart issues. And as far as I'm concerned, I have no idea if I have heart issues. If it's heredity, obviously you have to think about, but there's a lot of physical differences that my mother and I have, which would bode better for me health-wise. But that said, I don't know if I don't have like AFib or something, And, on that happy note, Oh, and these dry liquid lipsticks, you see, didn't come off of my hand. Do not come off on the cup. It's safe to say they don't come off on joints either when you're passing them around, even though in the age of COVID, I suppose you can't do those things. I don't want to be setting any bad examples. Don't want to do that. And when will this COVID end? Others saying that we got to think about wearing masks through 2022. They're saying that there's powers that be. They're saying because of the unfairness of certain people's skin color and how there's inequities and there's this white privilege bullshit, which I never subscribe to. And so they're saying that they want to make the whites go to the back of the line and get the minorities, give them their shots first. So people like me might not be able to get it till 2022 and all this stuff. It's like, but there's so many sites out there with so many wild theories and some things that people really, really believe that sound very conspiracy theory-ish, and some things that frankly did seem too outlandish that turned out to be real. I'll be the first to admit that when they first started giving publicity to this pandemic, I didn't take it as seriously as it was. It did not seem all that real. The first way that it directly impacted my life was when the city government decided to cancel the Atlantic City St. Patrick's Day Parade. That's something that we have every year. Usually the weekend before St. Patty's Day, so that it alternates with the Philadelphia one, so people can go to both. It's a very big holiday for the tourism industry, as far as especially the bars and the clubs. It's the one day where the police tolerated the drinking in public. Now, with the COVID and stuff, the police, they've actually allowed drinking on the Atlantic City Boardwalk as long as it's in between the casinos. If it's between the street that borders Tropicana, you can start carrying your open containers there and on up to the street that borders the the Ocean Casino. And there is signage on the boardwalk saying that's allowed within certain limitations. They don't want you having it in a bottle and having a paper sack and looking like you're actually drinking a big bottle of Old Granddad or something. Oh, please, not Old Granddad. That's 114 proof. That's something you should fear. I wish I knew to leave it alone when I was 17 at that party. I was at a party with my father, and I was at. It was one of his old friends. Their grandchild was having a christening or something. So it was an Italian family, and they had a big old party with a big old open bar. And they were friends of my father's. And, my mother severed, even though I was only 17 at the time, you go with your family's blessing. You're going with your dad, right? What trouble can you get into when you're 17 and you're with your father? Well, if you're 17 and you're happy about the chance to party, you are going to take some chances. And it was a self-serve bar, and it was beer steins. I took a beer stein and I put one single ice cube in it. And I poured from a bottle of old granddad 114 proof bourbon. And I don't know how much of this I got to drinking. I know that the one issue I had going in my head at the time was I had a crush on somebody who's in a band and they didn't like me and, whatever. And there's whatever stupid excuses you could have for deciding to go and drink quart alcohol poisoning, which could very well have happened if I had successfully drunk the whole thing. Well, I started sipping it, and I don't have a clear recollection of everything except that I was found sitting on the toilet, and I had passed out, blacked out. They took me home in somebody's Cadillac. I was wearing contact lenses at the time, and I rubbed one out and lost it. I threw up in the car. The dad had to clean that up. Of course, I don't remember a thing. Had a hell of a hangover the next day. And I tell you, and early experience of alcohol like that, if you have an early blackout, that can be a precursor to later alcoholism. And when I think of how long it finally took me to actually get sober, I definitely had some experiences with alcohol, and yeah, but that's in my rearview mirror, and I just don't touch alcohol at all anymore. I walked away from it in 2004, and I haven't looked since. And I will admit there have been times during this pandemic when I gave a thought just for a second or two, and I'm thinking, this COVID has deprived us of so much emotionally, so much human contact, so much of our livelihoods. There is so much despair going on when you're hearing the numbers, the fatalities, when you are seeing all the measures that governments are taking to restrict people's behaviors in order to deal with the spread of this disease, and trying to strike a balance between safeguarding our economy and safeguarding the public health. And how do you do that? And it seems to me that President Trump is really trying his best and is being fought so every which way from Sunday. And anyway, we've got this really terrible worldwide thing that's going on, and it just really sucks. And thank goodness for having technology that we can talk to each other across the miles and stuff. And I think it's really great that I have a platform with this YouTube that I can share my life with people and, do a little teaching, do a little learning, get inspired by things. I get inspired by some of you that I talk to, and I certainly learn things from life and from watching what other people are doing, and occasionally from maybe some of your videos that I might watch. I've been trying to actually catch up on my sleep, and there's a weird paradox with the day job stuff that I do. There's work at home sites and the survey taking sites and stuff that I spend so much of my time on. It seems to me that during the late night hours when I really need to think about going to bed and getting my sleep, that's when most of the ways to make money on those sites seem to be active. But then when it's normal time of day and I don't already have YouTube responsibilities to deal with, then I try to find ways to make money on these sites, and nothing is working. And I mean, there's nothing is available. Tasks that normally might be available at 3, 4, 5 in the morning are not available when I'm bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and I actually have the mental clarity. Sometimes it gets really, you get weird when it's like daybreak and you're still, on one hand, I feel naturally energized late at night and stuff, but it's frustrating when I'm trying to find, I'm chasing the next 5 cents, and it's ridiculous. You spend so much time building penny by penny, and look at the times when in life when you will spend $1 or 2 more for something just out of convenience. And then you feel like a damn fool. I'm thinking I invested literally hours trying to save pennies, and in a few minutes I can throw it all away. I could overspend by 10 or 20 bucks because I paid too much for a travel ticket, or I paid too much for, fill in the blanks. People do that grocery shopping. Instead of going to a big market where things are reasonable prices, they'll go up the street and they'll save time, but they're spending so much more. Like people going to 7-Eleven, and I'm not knocking 7-Elevens. They're great. They're open 24 hours. And there's where I live, there's a whole lot of them that you can go to. And I've been known to go 3, 4 in the morning, especially in the summertime. Well, maybe not this year with all the gangs and the Trump haters and stuff, but they're really great to go and grab things. But they're not really bargains unless you happen to be lucky and catch a going out of business sale like my brother did, where he got a bunch of coffee for $1 each. That was, and I don't mean fresh coffee, I mean bags of coffee. Speaking of coffee, here's something I have to do, but I have to get some rubbing alcohol first. So let me borrow that from, well, I hope this doesn't fall down. You know what? If I set that aside here and that falls down, that will really suck. So let me get some rubbing alcohol from her. Hold on a second. No, I just want to get your alcohol. Just a second. I'll bring it back in a few. Okay, I need some isopropyl alcohol for something, and you will see it. Oh, you know what? I have an extra light going on in the bathroom, and it really doesn't need to be on because electricity is not included in the rent. Yeah, and the bills are quite high and all that. So I'm a little bit of a Nazi about turning lights on in rooms when they're unattended, unless they're the kind of lights that don't always go on. Like occasionally some of these fluorescent lights are not very reliable. Okay, what I'm going to do with the rubbing alcohol is, we were talking about coffee and coffee bean grinders. Well, I have been using this coffee bean grinder for something that's not coffee, mainly herb. And if you know anything about herb, you know that it is very resiny. And if you repeatedly use these grinders for that, what will end up happening is it will get really sticky. And I find that it's harder and harder to open this up to, like when you, in order to use it, you have to close it all the way so it makes contact. And the resin, though, gathers. Even though I've been using guitar picks to scrape up the powder and put it in a bowl and smoke it and stuff. But anyway, this needs to be cleaned. My first choice for cleaning this would be vodka, since that's obviously safe to ingest, but I don't keep vodka or any kind of drinking liquor in the house. Why would I? I'm a friend of Bill W., you know? So this is where that alcohol came in. And, oh, here it is. All right. So what I'm going to do is, so that I don't court any problems with fumes from alcohol and this gas stove here that has pilot light, I'm going to cut a little tiny bit of this. This used to be a mini skirt, but it's now a scrub rag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this computer and I'm going to put it closer. I'm going to rest it on top of the coffee maker here. And I am going to take the rubbing alcohol and I'm going to saturate this thing here. The object is to remove the resin from the coffee grinder so that it's easy to open. I don't think I can get any more smokables from this, obviously. So, and this should do the trick because resin dissolves in fats and in THC. So, and I'm just gonna, I hope this talk isn't gonna cause them to age restrict me. This is hardly the focus of the video. I'm just cleaning a coffee grinder, that's all. I hope this does the trick. Of course, you watch, then I'll acquire something to stick in it, but I'm all out now. I don't see that situation changing anytime soon, so. But we don't have any coffee beans either. Got bags of coffee. Still have some of that flavored coffee from 7-Eleven's dollar sale. I wonder if that 7-Eleven did, in fact, close. And I wonder if this pandemic had anything to do with it. That was the same 7-Eleven, though, where a friend of mine got mugged. He was using ATM and he had already had a lot of cash on him. And what possessed him to go behind that 7-Eleven where there's a vacant lot, and that's also fairly close to where there are some real big heroin kind of areas and rooming houses and social service agencies for different classes of people, like some for heroin junkies, some for male prostitutes, some that are general homeless people's drop-in centers. Then there's a mosque, then there's a library and stuff. But it's basically can be a sketchy area. Okay, now this should be clean enough. And if it seems dry. Yeah, so much cleaner. The great thing is that nobody ever noticed this thing was gone. Well, because we don't have any beans, so there's no need for it to be. So I might as well put it back where I usually use it. And I typically usually use it where my tomato plants are. Yeah. Want to see my nice red little tomato baby? Pretty. It's very, very ripe. Let's see how the other ones are doing. Where are they? Oh, there's more flowers. I still water them very regularly. I know I have. Oh, down here. You know what I'm going to do? Here. Lift this up. Oh, okay. There. Whoops. Oh, don't fall on me. Here. There. I know that's not the neatest arrangement, but you know what? I kept on. They won't stay up against the windows anymore. And so if I just let them flop, then they can't fall and they can't break. One good thing is the radiator's got a little bit of warmth on it. It's been so cold that the furnace has been kicking in. I think it's got to be in the upper 20s out there. There are ice patches outside. Now, I thought that you could get fined if you don't clean off the top of your car if it has snow and stuff, but when people were coming in from the mainland or wherever they came from, the snow did not melt from the roofs of their cars. This feels good going down. If you don't inhale it, that is. Okay, good, making sure I'm not losing these. I saw the mailman a couple of days ago, and I got him to open up the mailbox, and I got the mail. And then I saw a different mail carrier yesterday, and I mentioned to him that I still haven't been able to find a key. And he said that he could put in a note to whoever the carrier is so that when next time they come here, all they have to do is ring the doorbell. Somebody is almost always home. Well, somebody is always home. The only time is my mother went to her stress test at the hospital yesterday. But I was home. My brother was home. Usually he goes out fairly frequently. When he goes out, usually I'm here and she's here. Usually when I go out to grab lunch or something like that, he's still asleep and she's here. So there's always somebody here when that doorbell rings. So I left a note attached to the mailbox saying, please ring the doorbell. I misplaced my key. I don't know where else to look for it. And I'm tired of making even more messes looking. I checked every purse that I could have had it in. I checked every pocket I could have had it in. I haven't had much of a variation in my outerwear because I really haven't gone anyplace. I haven't been able to find it since the day I went to Dollar Tree to get something for my mother. And as a matter of fact, it wasn't Dollar Tree. I went up to the 99-cent store. And it was ever since that day, I have torn this place apart looking for the damn keys. I can't find either those keys or the keys to the other entrance. And that means that when I'm out, there's only one way to get in and out, and I have to worry about if the dirt balls are there, then I have to wait till they go in order for me to get in safely. And I really that gets really old. Oh, I see a kitty. I see a kitty. Oh, I see a kitty. Look, I got a baby. Oh, I got a baby. See, I got a baby. How's my baby cat doing? Yes, you my baby. I love you. My baby. You're so pretty. Oh, isn't he beautiful? Isn't my TabbyBoy beautiful cat? He's so warm. Oh, so warm. It's so cold and you're so warm. I love you so much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know I love you. Right? You okay? Hmm? Oh, so pretty. He's so pretty. Look at my baby. You know I got such a wonderful cat. And then there's Cassie, and she's so mean to him. Oh, but you know what? She can't bother you now. She can't bother you now. She's done all. She's not messing with you. No. Maybe he's feeding her. You think he is? Or maybe she steal his food. Yes. Oh, maybe she steal his pizza or something. She likes a lot more variety of non-cat foods than TabbyBoy does. Yeah. I've seen her eating things like pasta without any sauce on it or anything. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna put you down now. So, wondering what else I should do if I should do anything along here. Right now, I don't really want to do anything other than the blue. I like carrying on a theme. It makes it kind of looks clean and orderly. I know those are probably not the first words that a person would think to describe me, but and I'm having a problem with some of the I have struggled with taping that up so much today, and it's a real hassle. But you know what? Oh, sorry about that. Oh, why did you do that, TabbyBoy? Don't take that personally. You see, I chased him up. I am going to get the step stool. I'm going to tackle this damn thing. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I didn't see you. I'm sorry. Oh, now it's going to get really easy to go down. Oh, watch, you're going to go down. Oh, you bastard. Oh, yeah, he went down the hall, but the door was closed and he couldn't get in. So he ran into my room and he ran under the bed so that I can't catch him. So you can't say these cats don't have minds of their own. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Oh, it would have been good to bring the tape up. Yeah. That would have been the smart thing to do. Oops. Okay. Well, okay. No, at least this won't be tempting to the cats. Let's see if this works when I open it. Yes, all right. Well, looks better than it did, huh? I don't know if I'm going to do anything. I don't have any more broken blue. I have a straight unbroken thing that I want to save for the next time I want to do a blue tree. So what I think I will do, even though this doesn't go with really, but I mean, okay, where's the tape I just have? Oh, wait. Okay. Let me see if I have another smaller piece of red. I didn't see that I had one the same exact color, and I don't want to clash metals either. But I can avoid that whole thing completely if I just use more red for the other one. And almost as if on cue, my sinuses are starting to go. All right. Again, I set my tape someplace, and everything camouflages against everything else in this house. Either everything seems to be like it's in a bag, or the clear things blend in, or everything is white, or everything is red, or everything is red and white. And this is so often. I have a battery issue. I've been running on battery power this whole time. I got to plug this in for a bit. Okay. All right. Now that I have this plugged in, I can get more tape or something. Yeah, sorry about that light. There's nothing I can do about it. I got to find another tape. Let me grab it. I know it's in here somewhere. I'm still trying to find the damn tape. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, my battery got to 11%, and that's why I had to plug it here. Now it says 13%, an hour and 18 minutes till full. So anyway, I got the tape. No, that's crap. I gotta find a way to plug this in the kitchen so that I don't am getting this thing shut off. That would really be irksome. Okay. Okay, here we go. Whoops. Okay, I've got computer cords tangled right now. Hold on a second. This cord and the Lenovo cord are. Oh. Okay. Here we go. There. Okay, I'm plugged in now. I'm fine. Oops. Well, and the cord just fell out of my computer. 1 second here. Oh, I hope this stretches. I do hope this stretches. I think it will. Yay. Okay, of course, I'm going to have to be really careful with how this is. All right. Here, I'll just put this here. All right. Now, okay, now I'm going to go grab the tape again since I didn't bring it in with me. Oh no, this is the trash. No, I didn't make that basket. No Harlem Globetrotters for me. Another empty one. All right, basket. Got some tape. No particular reason for the design or anything. It's just something to do with the red. And then I got these things that I can put. Maybe I should just break these up. Yeah. That's what I think I'll do. TabbyBoy. Tabby. Maybe I should. These clogs are really not the steadiest shoes for climbing. But they really do feel good as far as the arch support thing. Normally, since I've been in this apartment, the primary shoe that I wear around the house tends to be slippers. And they offer absolutely no arch support thing, and plus you're slamming down pretty hard on the surfaces. It doesn't really, not very good for your feet, and you're so close to the floor, especially in the wintertime, that all that cold on your feet. These clogs, they really support the arches well. The only thing is they're hard on your feet. If I happen to find any more of this red, I will put that on there. I hope those two things don't look too stupid. You know, if I really want to get creative, I can then stick this on here. But the only problem is then I run the risk of, with the opening and closing of this, what if it falls into a pan of soapy dishwater liquid? You know, this I would really not want it to get damaged. It does have sentimental value for me. Now, I fully expect that this is going to be in my in future homes I live in. I'm going to look at some other of my ornaments. If you've already seen my Christmas playlist, they've seen most of these. But this is another early ornament that, now when I made this, I was fully trying to evoke pot leaves. That was what I was thinking when I did this. And this had to be, again, within the first 2 years that I went to California, maybe even prior. So, yeah, maybe that would be better to put up there. What do you think? Put up here somehow, maybe. Oh, and by the way, if you lose the loops to attach to your styrofoam balls, you know what makes a really great substitute? These are from packages of stockings and knee highs. Hosiery sometimes has a hook to hang the package on the shelving, and these things are really great to make ornaments with. I swear by them. I always save them. Even though I haven't made ornaments in a number of years, that doesn't mean I won't ever again. So, and plus when these things start to get wear and tear from improper storage, like what is happening with me now, you want to have, you know, materials to repair them. Let's see. I'm going to add a little bit more tape to make it a little bit more secure. There. What do you think? Whoops. Don't want to pull my cord here. There. Probably later on, I would like to do a little bit more, maybe with that back wall behind me. But the thing is, that's harder to reach, as you can imagine. And it has the big freezer, which, well, this thing here is a big standalone freezer, which this is the second one that my family has owned, and they are the most wonderful things. If you have, say, you have a hunter in your family, and they shoot you up a deer, your deer is not going to fit in the freezer that's in your average refrigerator. So if you can handle the extra electricity cost, these freezers are a godsend. And another thing is when you have power failures, and say you lose your power for like 3, 4, 5 days, if you don't open them, you won't lose your stuff. If they're really well stocked and they're close to full, If you don't open them for 4 or 5 days, if you lose your power, you'll still have your stuff. We've had power failures with a few of our nor'easters and things, and we haven't had to throw out anything. That said, I feel terrible for the people that do lose their stuff. So, what do you think? Okay, well, final look at the makeup. And what do you think of the decorations? We're getting there. As far as plans for the rest of this week, I know I have to call Best Buy to see about it because I really hate only having this one machine. I can't work at the same time that I'm filming. At least with the two machines, I could have one machine that would be do the day job stuff on, and then I could use the other for my production and stuff, and I'm not able to do that. So obviously multitasking is very hard. But as far as later on this month, since Christmas Eve, I'm looking at the calendar here, Christmas Eve falls on a Thursday. So I'm definitely going to do a live stream for Christmas Eve. Exactly what it's going to be about. I think it's going to be about cooking. So if you'd like to see some real time cooking for Christmas Eve, stay tuned to my channel. I've even told my mother that I was planning on doing this and that I would like it if she would be not so uptight about being seen on camera. She's a little insecure because her hair hasn't been dyed in a long time and it's showing a gray that I haven't seen in a long time. But I told her, I said, look, with the COVID, so many people are not getting their hair done regularly, or they're letting their self go gray, or for whatever reason, people are feeling less like my hair is getting all matted up. I'm not looking gorgeous like I could if I made more effort. But this COVID, come on. Nobody sees me except the people I live with, a few bums and crazies down the street when I have to run errands, and you guys. And I know that I don't want to seem cavalier about it, but you know what? This COVID it's the biggest excuse for ambivalence and depression and trepidation and insecurity and all kinds of things that so many people are feeling due to the forced lack of human contact, all the efforts that were taken to slow the spread of this. And it's causing us to live in unnatural ways. Even though I spend a lot of time alone and stuff, there's times when I want to be out in crowds and I can't do that. And yet people are doing it. My brother goes out to these things. There are clubs and bars and things that are open. They just can only be open here until 10 p.m. So, for instance, there's going to be New Year's Eve celebrations that are going on. They're just going to be on earlier. And what happens is there are these restaurants and places that are in hotels. They're having things go on until 10 o'clock. Then they're letting people who have already got hotel reservations, letting them take their parties back in their hotel rooms. And they're not going to be, who's to say that you're not going to take 20, 30, 40, 50 of your closest friends cram in your little hotel room? And that can be super spreading. But you could also be saying, look, I want to have a holiday. You want to salvage something in 2020. And yet people are saying this is not going to be like any normal holiday season. And, you have to do what is the smartest thing for you to do. If everybody around you are young and figured if you did get it, it wouldn't be all that bad, then maybe you could chance it. But if you live in mixed generation households where you can't take the chance of bringing something back to old, vulnerable people, then maybe you should think twice. Then again, so many people that are in relationships are going out with the people that they might very well be shacked up with, in which case it's not much of a risk unless they decide to be flirting with other people when they're there, or they start drinking, and once you're drinking, you forget about social distancing, and plus you can't drink and wear a mask at the same time unless you wear one of those special masks that have straws in them. I should have gotten one just for the hell of it, but I can't throw my money around for things that are just novelty. It doesn't, And really, how many times am I going to be drinking in public through a straw, wearing a mask anywhere where I would really need to? I could see it if I was going and drinking diet sodas in a whole bunch of clubs from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. and stuff. But you know what? They don't give free or dollar sodas to so-called designated drivers anymore. They might if they know that you actually are driving for a bunch of drinking people. But if you're somebody who already just doesn't drink, they're not going to be doing you any favors, not unless they're expecting a big fat tip. And I think anybody going out now is tipping probably double what they normally would to take care of the bar and the restaurant workers who are suffering so much as a result of COVID and all the restrictions on opening and stuff. The unemployment rates keep on going higher and higher, and it's really sad. And of course, the government supposedly is going to be issuing checks, but there are a lot of people who could use the money are not getting them, and I'm one of those people, unfortunately. So it would be nice if they would find a way to give these to more than just the people who are already in the system. Maybe there are people who are in the underground economies, or who aren't making enough to declare anyway. And anyway, there's a lot of people that fall through the cracks with this. So, yeah. All right. So, yes, I'm looking at the calendar here. I'm going to be doing a cooking live stream for Christmas Eve. And we'll see what happens before then. But I really know that I need to get on it with Best Buy and at least call and make my appointment. Now, I don't know how soon I can even get the appointment. And then hopefully the day won't be a day with really bad weather, because I still have to walk to the bus station, then take the bus, then get there, and then come back in time. So, all right, I'm not going to have this go on forever. It's gone on kind of long enough. But you could see the makeup, and you could see the decorations, and I'm going to give another close-up look at whoops, cord just came out again. Yes, the manger scene has fallen down, gone boom. It's something else I'll need to fix, but probably best to do that off camera, since a lot of times it gets worse before it gets better. Sorry, first family. Oh, you saw this? Alrighty, well, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like my content and haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. I give you 3 new videos a week. I'd like to take you along with me on my adventures. There's always something new in my world. I'd like you to be a part of it. Stay safe, please, and have a happy holiday season, but please don't catch the COVID. I want you around, and I'm sure you got people who love you that want you around too. Take care. Bye.